undead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets, mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors. Armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language, these beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey, how's it going?
What's happening, Jenks?
Yes, we are doing tonight what I fucking hate doing, watching shit films and talking about them.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought I would. So, I've literally just finished watching Blood Freak at 10 to 7. So, I got home from a hard day in work, and I was miserable, Jenks. We should have watched it together on the weekend and got it over with. We could have had a bit of fun with it. But I got home, right, from a long day, sat down on the couch. That's all I wanted to do, right, was watch shit on TV. And I had to put this film on.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get into how bad this movie is.
I watched it yesterday. I got ahead of it because I had to rush Birdemic last week. And I felt like I didn't make notes. I just thought, oh, it's fresh in my head.
Yeah,
but I made some notes. I mean, it's just all shit. But I got ahead of it because I wanted to seem a bit more professional. But I said to you yesterday, I said, I don't want to do this maybe once a month because this is becoming homework and it's not fun.
Well, this is the thing for me is that I thought this wouldn't be homework. I thought it would be fun. It's not very fun.
I think you thought it was fun torturing me. That's what you thought.
Yeah, I suppose so. But like the way I see it is that I'm very particular with the films I watch. And what I mean is it's not specific to genre, it's how I'm feeling, right? So I'm always usually into something. So at the moment, I've gone through a Shane Meadows phase, right? And I'm watching a lot of British movies, and that's transferred into British comedies and a bit of everything. So I'm literally at the moment just watching British movies and early 2000s, 90s British movies. And I've got to watch this, and I don't like watching films that I don't feel like watching. I'm always feeling like something, and it's hard work. I don't want people to feel sorry for me now, right? I don't want people to say, "Oh, poor you." I'm just saying.
So I watched this yesterday. I watched it it took me 3 goes, so I did 2 goes or 3. I watched 50 minutes. No, I was going to do half. And I thought I'll just do another, and it's 80 minutes long, right? So I do 40 minutes, 40 minutes. I got to 43. I thought I'll just go to 50 now. So I've only got 30 minutes left. And that's what I felt like. It was just like shaving it off like it's homework. But yes, so in general, we've got, for those who don't know what we're doing, basically, do you want to say it? Because it was your idea.
Yeah, of course. So anyone who's new to the channel that may be on the live, there's not many of you here at the moment.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you.
I had an idea where I wanted you guys to come up with terrible movies, and not like a late M. Night movie. I mean, a schlocky bad horror movie, something a bit shit. Not something with a big budget anyway.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a live where I ask you guys to pick a movie, and then I put it in a randomizer, and then whatever movie we pick, we watch. And this is the third one we've done. We've done Feeders, Birdemic, and now Blood Freak. And yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more fun than it is. We are going to keep doing it because the lives are fun. I enjoy talking about these movies. It's just watching them is a struggle.
Yeah, I think we'll do it monthly. Make it a monthly thing because we are doing more lives now. And I think we're kind of finding our feet. We've been doing like random stuff like ranking it, but I think we're going to start doing regular things. Once a month do this, once a month do that, a collab. But
because I miss our Wednesday Q&As. Just jump on a Wednesday and we can talk a bit of shit.
Look, Feeders was a pile of shit, but it was much easier to watch than this. Feeders was like Schindler's List in comparison to this, and Feeders is like rock bottom shit. Like, you're talking like paper mache monsters and stuff. I thought Birdemic was even worse because it had less excuse because it was made 2010. This, you can give it a bit of a pass because it's 1972, but it's shit.
So I said to my girlfriend, I said, this is the worst of the three.
I think so.
It is definitely the worst of the three. Now, Feeders is by far the best of the three, right? I had so much fun with that movie. Now, it's a shit movie, but it feels self-aware. Yeah. I had a ton of fun with that movie. Now, that is more up my street of what I like from a shit movie, right? Yeah. And then Birdemic, like you said, there's absolutely no excuse for it being that shit. No. And it felt like it took itself too seriously. It didn't feel like the director knew he was making a bad movie. And this, oh my God, it is abysmal. The guy, there's a narrator throughout the movie who's talking about the story and talking about the characters, and you can see him constantly looking down to read his lines. So
yes, I noticed that. I made a note of that.
So he'll say his lines, and then he'll look down, and then he'll come back up and say his lines. But it was as if he had rehearsed it because he said his lines so well, but you could see him constantly looking down.
Yeah, I noticed that. Do you want to say hello to a few people? Little people we got, because honestly, I don't blame them once they saw that thumbnail.
We've got Jordan Moran. Hiya, Jord. Hope you're doing well.
Jordan, how's it going, dude?
We've got Vivian. Hiya, Viv. Hope you're doing well.
She's off the hook.
She's off the hook. Yeah. Who I had to rush one from work just to jump on.
Rush
Legend.
home.
Thank you. Rush home. Right. Appreciate that, who?
Yes.
Skilly says, at least you get paid a boatload of money to watch bad movies, right?
We wish.
About 10 pence.
Yes.
And like a £4 electric bill from watching the movie. So
yeah.
When you kind of weigh it up, it doesn't really match up.
And all the wine and the vodka you got to drink to get through 80 minutes, 79 minutes.
Yeah. We've got Fire Palf. John says, can't believe you didn't watch it twice just to see how it would affect your opinions. Do you know what? On second watch, there was so many undertones that I didn't notice the first time I watched it.
It was kind of layered, like there was things you missed.
It should have been called Blood Onion because it's got so many layers.
Yeah, I know, honestly.
Jesus Christ, they missed a trick. Skilly says, it sounds like it might be the last bad movie review.
Yeah.
The end of an era, guys. Look,
once a month.
We are going to do it because I love the thought of including you guys and getting you guys to pick the movies that we watch. But I'm going to skip a couple here just for a second because it plays in part with what I wanted to say. Is Vivian had a good suggestion. If you don't like bad movies, what about relatively unknown ones? Now, that's an even better shout. We could definitely try something like that. Yeah. Because they don't necessarily have to be bad, but how about you guys suggest movies that you think we haven't seen?
Yes.
I gotta say, it'll be a tough one for me.
Right. Shall I just give a brief plot intro?
Wait there. Let me just... There's not that many comments. Let me just... we got John... Vivian. Look at this. Vivian watched it in 3 parts. It was painful.
Yeah, 3 parts for me.
We've got Maxwell King. Hiya, Max, mate. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Vivian. If you don't like bad movies, that's the one I've done. Shouldn't skip comments. Yeah, shouldn't skip comments. I'm repeating myself.
Right. So I'll just give a brief synopsis. When I first saw a picture, I had no idea what this was about. And I saw a picture of that bird bloke. I thought it was a film about loads of bird people killing people. I didn't realize about one.
Way to jump to conclusions, Jenks.
Yeah, I just thought it was one of those films where there's piles of bird men killing people, like the birds, but men. Right? That would have been better. But so it's like a religious film about the horrors of doing drugs. And it's very odd. Like you said earlier, Kurt, there's a guy narrating who's heavily smoking.
And coughing as well.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe I'll come back to this later about the coughing thing, but he's talking about the ills of drugs. And then he's kind of saying a story about this guy, Herschel. He's like a good-looking guy. Is he Italian?
Looks like Elvis.
Yeah, very handsome. They say he's 72. They said, "Oh, he's got so many muscles." He didn't have a lot of muscles. He just had a high waistband. Come on, then.
Go on then.
Yeah, but the old guy, out of shape, in shape guy. And he was like, all the girls were throwing themselves at him. It was quite confusing. It was really dark. I didn't know what was going on. He's got a girlfriend. He ends up taking. Is he smoking weed or is it something stronger?
You told me I wouldn't get addicted.
And he gets instantly addicted, like he's got like as if he's been on heroin, and he's got like proper withdrawal symptoms. And then he eats this experimental turkey.
Yeah, so he's with these scientists who have got experimental turkey meat, and the scene that sets it up. So he goes to this place, and they're like, "Would you be willing to try out this experimental meat?" And he's like, "Well, is it dangerous?" No, not at all. It's not dangerous at all. But that's the only definition of an experiment, is that this is very dangerous to be the first person to try something. It's the only way you can explain an experiment is it's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
No, it's not dangerous at all. It's not.
I'm guessing it was like meant to be like a genetically modified turkey, isn't it? But it's very unclear because of the sound.
It's very unclear.
Yeah, and he eats the turkey. He passes out, and then he becomes a man with a bird head.
Bird head.
And he starts killing people. But this is ridiculous. Putting aside how ridiculous the weed thing is, he has a couple of puffs by the pool, and then he's like, I need it, right? I thought, oh, is he meant to be like heroin or something? But I said, I'm sure it was just weed.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend instantly accepts him as a birdman. Like
I know.
I think she screams initially, but then essentially she's just like, oh, don't worry about it.
Do you know what's really funny about this movie is how I worked out within 10 minutes that this was a Christian horror movie. It is the most preachy movie I've ever seen, and it's so on the nose as well. Like that opening scene with Herschel, the main guy, and it's his girlfriend's sister, I think, that's coming on to him.
Yeah.
And he's, what's it called when you cheat on your wife? I can't remember. Infidelity.
Infidelity. Adultery, if it's your wife.
Adultery is against the Bible, and adultery this and adultery that, and oh, you shouldn't do drugs because it's in the Bible not to do drugs. And I was like, within 5 minutes, it was, oh my God, this is a Christian horror movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though there was no drugs in the olden days of the Bible.
Yeah.
Don't do coke.
It's against everything I believe in.
Yeah, it hasn't been invented yet. Yeah,
don't do crack cocaine.
Yeah, because all these girls, it's again the plot is very, very messy. Like again, it was so the sound was so bad, and it was dark. Some scenes I couldn't see anything. I don't know.
Yeah, nothing at all. There's one scene where I could just see the woman's legs. Didn't mind, but
yeah. But all these girls are throwing themselves at him, and he's for the most part he is saying no to them, and then he smokes weed, and then his inhibitions kind of disappear, and then he's addicted after 2 puffs of marijuana.
and then soon as he do drugs, he cheats.
Yes,
he cheats.
But so it's a Christian story. So okay, I get it. Don't cheat. Don't do drugs. But don't eat experimental turkeys.
Where did that come from?
I don't think that's one of the 10 Commandments, you know. Because he's just a job. He's eating experimental meat. He's not doing a villainous thing. People are paid to test different things.
How good does that meat look?
It looked lush. Yeah.
When he pulls the leg off.
Yeah, I know.
They only do that in movies.
Yeah, I don't really like legs because it's too much work.
Yeah,
you got to navigate all the dodgy meat. I know. I'm not a big fan, but yeah. There's one bit in it, Kurt. I couldn't tell whether his victim was screaming or he was screaming like a bird.
Well, I was going to mention that because it sounds like they got one person to scream and they used the same scream every time someone was in pain. So every time someone was screaming, it sounded like the same thing. But he was gobbling like a turkey.
Yeah.
Just doing that all the time.
Yeah, I suppose if the sound is shit, it's easier just to have one sound. But I couldn't tell if he was screaming like a bird. I think it was the victim. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, I'll say, right, this movie was a bag of shit, right? It was absolutely awful.
It was.
But I always try and find the good in things, being a movie fan. And This one should have been up my street, right? It's from the 70s. It's schlocky and it's got a Grindhouse feel to it, right? It feels like a Grindhouse movie. So I'm always like, oh, right, what was good about this movie? And I sit there for 10 minutes, like, oh, what can I pull from this movie? And there's nothing, right? Apart from one scene where the guy gets his leg chopped off.
Yes, that's on my notes. The only good scene.
Yeah, the only good scene. And that one felt a bit nasty. And I did read on IMDb that they used an actual amputee.
Yeah, I thought it was a good effect because it did show like a long shot of his leg gone. I thought, oh, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one bit as well, right? Because the plot was all over the place. So sometimes they would cut forward and back, like almost like a Tarantino way, but poorly done. So there's one bit where the guy kills the bird man, right? Cat pins him down, stabs him as if, and then that's forgotten about then. And then he's just Birdman again. Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, of course. A lot of it doesn't make sense. I mean, the chopping in this one, like I said with Birdemic, the guys do not know how to edit a movie. Now, a little bit more forgivable back then. They probably edited Birdemic on a computer like we do when we edit our videos. It's easier. Now, when you have to chop up film, I guarantee you it's a lot harder to edit.
Oh, yeah.
But, oh my God, it was so jarring. Some of the shots, it would cut to a woman standing there, but then they would use the same frame. So if you're cutting away and going to a different frame, you need to use a different angle. Yeah. You can't cut from one frame to another that's set up the same way. But it cuts from her standing there, then it cuts to her on the floor being choked. There's no setup, there's no build-up for it. It was literally just her standing there, and then boom, same shot, same angle, her on the floor. And I thought, and I was thinking, how many great films came out before 1972?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What's worse about this is that he is like just got a head of a chick. It doesn't even look like doesn't even looks more like a crow to me than a turkey. Like like he hasn't got.
They even had turkeys in the film.
Yeah, because turkeys are very distinct. They got those weird, like horrible long.
Yeah, that fucking thing hanging off their head.
Yeah, like long fanny lips hanging off the off the chin.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's and they're all scared of it. They're screaming, and it's just absolute nonsense. And there seems to be any sort of linear, cohesive scenes where one day he's outside and he's running into the window, and then he's somewhere else, and then he's by the window. And I just thought, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it was absolutely all over the place. One thing I did read though is that the producers dropped out at some point and left them on their own to fund the movie themselves. But then I was like, right, what part did they drop out of? Because this is shit from the first second. So I would love to have seen a drop in production value. Even like maybe they've even like changed an actor because they can't afford him anymore.
Oh, they
got
got a different mask, just like another one of those with like elastic around your head.
Yeah.
Right. I got some things here, Kurt, to make it easier. Do you want to read some comments or will I get these up?
Yeah, we've got a few more people in that I've jumped. We've got, look at this. We've got Gina. Hi, Gina. Hope you're doing well. Gina tells everyone to slash that like button. Thank you, Gina.
Yes.
Vivian, funny that guy addicted to cigarette goes on about addiction. I know, he knows nothing about addiction.
Well, I was going to say, at the end, he starts coughing, like, badly. And I thought, oh, is that a joke? Like, because obviously he's addicted to cigarette. I know in the 70s, they thought differently. But then he's coughing a lot. And I thought, is that a joke?
I don't think it was. I reckon he was just coughing.
It's hard to tell. And if it was a joke, it's a funny joke.
Weed doesn't give withdrawal symptoms unless you've been doing it for years. Also not a drug, it's a plant. That's fair enough.
Yes.
We've got Jamie Hart. Hi, Jamie. Hope you're doing well.
We haven't seen you for a while, and this is the video you jump in. This is the show. You're not going to be jumping on again after watching this one because we are like, this is painful.
I'd be interested to know if Jamie's seen this one in cinema.
Oh no, she's seen it in IMAX.
Fucking IMAX.
3D IMAX.
Oh, Gina says I wasn't allowed to drink Coca-Cola as a kid due to certain things.
Yeah, well, you'd be addicted and you'll turn into a bird man.
Look at this. We've got Eli Cortez. What's happening, Eli? What's up, Curtis Jenks and all you twisted knights?
Yes.
What's happening, pal? Like always, we gotta read this out. Don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this amazing channel, and consider becoming a member of the mighty Twisted Knights for some awesome perks.
Thank you. Yes, 99 cents, 99 pence. Join the Twisted Knights. We got lots of videos up, lots of live stuff, audio stories from yours truly. Yeah, jump on.
We've got Jill John. Hiya, Jill. Thank you for jumping on. You don't usually jump on a Wednesday, Jill. Thank you. Am I dead yet? Nice and early this time.
How's it going?
Hope you're doing well. Thank you for jumping on. Jamie says, I don't think I've ever seen this movie, but that turkey head is amazing. Now, Jamie, if you like, and I mean like really schlocky movies, you may enjoy it. It's on YouTube. It's an hour and 19 minutes. I do not recommend it. It is...
If that mask was the mask of a killer, I think it'd be quite disturbing because it's dirty and grimy. And
if it wasn't meant to be a real turkey head.
he's possessed.
We've got Ben Davis, and Jamie says the producers said, "F this crap, we out." Yeah, 100%. There was a point where they said, "Yeah, we're not going to put our name to this." I was reading online that the actor who plays Herschel, the main guy, said this was a really sad chapter in his life. Weed doesn't cause withdrawal symptoms. Trust me, lol. It's legal here. Of course it is.
Look, it would be something if he'd been on it for years, but he was very much against it, and he takes about 3 puffs. He didn't puff it like he was a newbie, though. He had a couple of puffs and he was laughing along, no coughing, and then like he's shaking.
Do you know my worst trope in a movie, right, is people in movies smoking weed, and they always do this.
Yeah.
And they do this. No, you know, guys, like, you can just do that. You know that, don't you? Like, why do they have to do that? Like, no, if they don't do that, people won't know that it's weed. They have to do this.
Yeah, it's totally. It's a proper frat boy sort of thing, isn't it? In these sort of frat boy films with the red cups and
munchies and this.
Yeah.
Always. Oh, man, I got the munchies.
Right, Kurt, you ready for this? Look.
Aye, go on.
Effects and makeup. What do you think?
Oh, let's do it. A little bit more planned this time, Jenks.
Yeah, no, it's left over from Demons. I didn't plan this. I just thought, this might like make it a bit easier. Go.
So there isn't much in here to talk about when it comes to effects and makeup. They haven't really tried to make it that type of movie. I feel like there's one kill in you that isn't just a strangulation. So a lot of people he just strangles and then they're just dead. But the only one in you we've already spoke about, and it's the guy who's an actual amputee. He gets his leg put through I don't know what they call it, the fucking table saw,
a bandsaw or something like that.
Bandsaw.
I don't know.
He gets his leg put through a bandsaw, and they must have known that it was a good effect because they really shove it in your face. So he is on that table for about 3 minutes just screaming with his leg cut off. They thought, do you know what? We've managed to find someone who's missing a leg. We're going to milk this for all it's worth.
Yes.
And for some reason, the Herschel, the Birdman, while this guy's got his leg chopped off, ducks under the table and he's just leaning down.
Well, I think he's trying to drink the blood that's coming out of his leg, but I think because he probably couldn't see, I think they just went all wrong. I noticed that. But I think that's what he's trying to do. Like that.
Yeah, it's just dripping on his head.
Yeah, I think he couldn't see probably through that mask, and it was a disaster.
This is another thing about it, guys, as well, we did mention, is that he only drinks the blood of drug addicts.
Is he? I didn't even get that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. That's on the description of it as well.
So I'll kick the next one off. Characters. Now, none of the people are good actors. It's proper schlocky. It's, like you said, it's a Grindhouse movie. Or it's meant, I don't know if it's meant to be type, but they're terrible actors. Not as bad as Birdemic, oddly enough, because the acting in this is much more, it's not so out of place, whereas Birdemic is like jarringly bad. I think everyone acted differently back in the day, and especially early on, and it's because of the sound, apparently. You know, there's like overacted. I saw like a YouTube video about the difference with voices now. So, back in the day when you had like Casablanca, frankly, my dear, when they talk like that, It's because the sound was so bad, they had to be really like clear on their words, otherwise the sound wouldn't get caught. So it makes sense.
Really?
Now,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where they should overact, like, oh my darling, like that, just to get the sound recorded clearer. Whereas now you can have people overlapping and stuff, and it's more realistic.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, the character. So Herschel is this like hunk. Does he have a job? There's no backstory.
No, there's none at all.
I don't even.
It starts. He's in a house party, and then that's it. He ends up like we said, trying out this experimental.
Oh
turkey
that's
meat.
his job, eating turkey meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but also the girls in it, they all look the same. He's having an affair, and I was like, I don't know which one's which. She looks exactly like the girl he's married to or gone out with, and you're like, oh, she's not obviously the sister. And it's just they've all got black hair. They all look they look the same bodies, all wearing bikinis. It is,
and the film's oversaturated. You can't see anything.
Yeah,
you can't see anything. There's certain scenes in the daylight that are okay, but any scene where the lighting's a little bit bad, you cannot see anything. And I watched this on a 75-inch. I should have watched it on my phone because this movie stretched out on a big 4K TV didn't go down well at all. Proper struggled. But characters for me, there's nothing to talk about really. The only one I can remember is Herschel because he's the main guy. And he's not the worst character. He feels like he fits in this world. He's a run-of-the-mill, cheap 70s horror movie character.
Yeah.
Typical 70s hunk. Kind of looks like Elvis.
He looks more like John Holmes or something, like a porn star.
Yeah.
From that era.
He's got the porn star hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Big black hair.
I can't believe, Kurt, we've been talking about this film for 30 minutes. How the fuck did we do that?
Maybe we enjoyed it.
Right. Is there more comments before I move on to the final?
Yes, we got comments.
The finale, I mean.
John says, is schlock French for shit? You could say that, pal. Jamie, I think I'll skip this one. Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, look at this plug from Vivian. You're so kind. Don't forget. You got rid of that then. That's for you, boy.
Oh.
Don't forget Jenks' zombie channel. Yes.
Yes.
If you haven't checked out his channel, guys, solo channel, I hate to say it because he ditched us, but he's absolutely killing it. You're doing great, Jenks.
Thank you. Work hard on it.
Really, really enjoying your videos. And you're a braver man than me because I'm not ready to go solo yet. I'm not ready to talk on my own. I need someone to bounce off. So hats off to you, Jenks. And
Thank you. It took a lot of practice talking to myself. It's not something that was easy for me. And yeah, I just thought I was recording myself a lot for about a month for 2 minutes a day, talking into my phone.
Yeah, this commitment.
And yeah, I got a bit better every day, but yeah, it's not my comfort zone. But yeah,
fair play. But yeah, go and check out Zombie Locker, guys. Especially if you're a fan of zombie movies.
Yes.
Am I Dead Yet says, have you seen Freaks of Nature with Mackenzie Davis? I have. That's the one with it's got aliens, zombies, maybe vampires. There's a school for all sorts of high school for all sorts of like supernatural beings, I think.
Is Mackenzie Davis the one from Speak No Evil? Am I mixing up?
Yeah. Terminator, Salvation, is it? Salvation?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the school had them in, but I'm sure there's zombies in the school at least. But I haven't seen that since it came out. But I enjoyed it at the time, but it's been a long time. But I know there's like zombies, aliens and shit in it. It's a bit mad.
I got a big crush on Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, she's really attractive.
Not so much when she's a Terminator. She's a bit too muscly.
Ben says, nice tea, Kurt. Thank you. I have got Profondo Rosso. This is Dario Argento's Deep Red. I bought this in the Italian convention. One of Dario Argento's best. And I love that title, Profondo Rosso.
Yeah, that's
so cool.
Yeah.
Nice one, Ben. Finally, someone appreciated my t-shirt. I come on here, right, with great t-shirts on, and Jenks never says anything.
I just, it's so many. Like, there's only so many times.
What have we got? John says, I'm blown away that Vinegar Syndrome hasn't put this out on 4K. Yeah, I know. Mate, some of the films they have in their catalogue is bonkers. They released Dead Pit on 4K. Seen Dead Pit?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. And Jordan.
Is it a zombie movie?
Yeah.
I never
At
heard
least
of
I
it.
think so. Yeah, it's one of those notoriously bad movies like The Video Dead. They've released that on 4K. Gina, I think I saw this as a kid. I remember looking at my dad saying, "What is this shit with my eyes? It sounds so familiar." This is right up vinegar syndrome's alley. Wigan Cult. Hey, pal, hope you're doing well. Evening, boys. I hope you're both well. We're doing great. Thanks for jumping on, mate. We appreciate it.
Check out his channel as well. It's awesome. We met up with him last year for the Love of Horror. Great guy.
Yes. Are you going again this year, pal? It'd be great to meet up again.
We'll be going.
Wendy, evening all. Sorry I'm late. No worries at all, Wendy. I hope you're doing well.
Not good enough.
That's it. Dark Fate, not Salvation.
Wait, who picked Blood Freak? Was it Wendy?
Sam Jones.
Sam.
Wendy picked Birdemic.
Right. Sam Jones is missing in action. Okay. He
did actually text me and he said, "I'm so sorry. I'm either gonna be late or end up missing it." But yeah, he did. In all fairness, he did text me to warn me. I know.
That's bad. Just dropped a grenade and fucked off, innit? Bastard.
I know. Vivian says, "Love Deep Red. Shudder has Argento movies on it now." Vivian, I am a Dario Argento. I am obsessed with Dario Argento. He's one of my favourite directors. He's got, up until I'd say the mid-90s or early 90s, late 80s, he was on the greatest run a horror director's ever been on. Up there with, in my eyes, up there with the likes of John Carpenter for having a great run. Just absolutely unbeatable.
Have you noticed, when somebody becomes an established horror director, like Dario Argento, John Carpenter, Clive Barker, their names become synonymous with horror, and you almost feel like, oh, it's a cool name. It's like, well, Clive is not a cool name, but no. Clive Barker is like Clive Barker.
Exactly. You got Dario Argento, John Carpenter, Clive Barker,
Wes Craven,
Stephen King. Once someone becomes synonymous with something, their name starts to represent that. Like, even look at the likes of Kurt Russell. That is an action star.
Yeah, it's like if your name was like...
But my name's Kurt.
If your name was like, Keith Wiggleson or something, and he would,
Wiggleson.
I don't know, I couldn't think of anything. And
no, it's good.
Would you be synonymous with horror? It's a bit like when you see like somebody's mugshot and he's done something horrible and they look evil in the mugshot. I'm like, it could just be, he could be a nice guy, but the mugshot, oh, that bastard.
That bastard. Awesome news, mate. We look forward to seeing you again, pal. And we'll have a few drinks.
We'll be by then, mate. We'll be too big, and we won't want to talk to you. Yeah.
You can maybe come over to our signing table and say hello, but you'll have to queue. You'll have to queue, of course.
Maybe our fan will be there. Fan singular.
I'll come back to that one now. Sorry, Hugh, but we have got Sam in the house, the culprit, the man who made us watch this movie. Sorry I'm late, guys. I was riding my motorbike and bumped into a Christian chick who got me hooked on drugs.
She sounds hot.
Blood Freak looks all right. That's what it's about.
Oh, looks all right.
Fucking spot on. I bumped into a Christian chick.
Well, the girls in it are quite hot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Very, very pretty 70s women. So... Hugh, I have never seen The Island of Dr. Moreau. I haven't seen the original or Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando's one. Never watched it.
That's famous. Like it's one of the
famously bad.
Yeah, developmental hell.
A bit of a cult movie, but I haven't seen that one. Hugh. Gina, have you watched Zombie Hunter with Danny Trejo yet, Jenks? If not, you need to.
No,
I'm
right.
sure he doesn't.
So on my to-do, I've any zombie movie that I know exists, I've written it down if I haven't already seen it, and any zombie movie that Timmer tells me it's on my list to watch, and I will get through them all. I'm quite enjoying going back. I've even watched a couple of Italian ones. I've already
proud of you, Jenks.
Yeah, I'd already seen Zombie Flesh Eaters, but I rewatched it because I do actually like that one. And
can I say something?
What?
So you came up on the weekend and we were chatting, and you said, and you were talking about City of the Living Dead, and I almost didn't clock you were talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, that scene's horrible. And I went, Wait there, you've watched City of the Living Dead? You're like, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I did enjoy you.
as if you've seen City of the Living Dead, and you were
Well,
just like, yeah.
well,
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I thought I had, but I couldn't remember. Like I watched the scene where you told me I wouldn't like it, and then I watched that scene with the drill, and it blew. And I watched the scene
Incredible.
just for our video where the woman's buried alive, right? When they think she's dead, and it did priest
scratching her way out of the
and I just thought these two scenes are so brilliant that I didn't trust you. No, it is a bit schlocky. It's not. I think Zombie Flesh Eaters is better.
No, it is schlocky, but it's got Lucio Fulci's name all over it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what the majority of people love about his films. He was never quite as classy as Dario Argento, but he knew his audience and he knew what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? He was an intelligent guy.
There's an horrible scene in it. And it's not that, like, it's not as gross as when the woman's like innards are coming out of her head, but it's the bit where there's maggots everywhere. It's buzzing.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's so simple.
They fly through the window.
Yeah, it's I gotta say, the drill scene, I guess I watched that when we did the video. It's one of the best effects I've ever seen because it like kind of makes contact with his neck
before it cuts. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
very
know.
clever.
It's insane. And the ghost figure in there that keeps appearing, he is terrifying. Nightmare fuel. I remember watching him when I was young and it terrified me. And watching as an adult, I still get that creepy feeling watching. You've got the cold wind, the dead vicar. It's such a creepy film.
Yeah.
Wait, what have we got? So, look at this, Jordan. Clive is a pilot's name. This is your pilot, Clive speaking. We'll be cruising. So good. This is your pilot, Clive speaking. Look at this. We've got batshit. Hey up, everyone. Bill late, I know, but still worth jumping on. We appreciate you jumping on, pal. Thank you, mate.
Yes.
Hope you're doing well. The Marlon Brando one was terrible. I don't know how Brando ended up in that. He must have really needed the money, definitely. And I think that was towards the end of his career.
I think it might be his last film. Can't remember.
Yeah, he did. I haven't seen the film, but obviously I've seen photos and trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't look well in that film. I think that was towards the end, wasn't it?
No. So let's finish this film because before we wrap it up, the finale. Are we still talking about this film? let's talk about City of the Living Dead. No, the finale. Look, spoiler alert. Who gives a shit? It was all a dream. It was some kind of like hallucination brought on by the turkey meat.
and the drugs.
Oh yeah, and the drug.
Yeah. Because he's having withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, and he wakes up and he's fine, and he doesn't have a turkey head anymore, and then it finishes.
Yeah,
and the guy starts coughing.
It's that bit where he's in the car at the end and he's got the shakes.
Yeah,
and he's got like the withdrawal symptoms, and it finishes so abruptly, doesn't it? Like, it got to a point at the end where I was like, it was going on, and I was like, oh bloody hell, this doesn't seem like the end. And then I looked, and there was 2 minutes left. Oh, the sigh of relief.
Yeah, well,
Jesus Christ.
It ended. It was so it's like a little epilogue where they're on the bridge together and it's like romantic. They're looking at the view, and I was standing up ready to switch my TV off, and I was like, "Oh, hurry up! This bridge!" I thought I have to watch it all. Not that it mattered, but just like my own sort of rule of like I got to finish it at very least. And I was like, right, it's over.
Yeah, I couldn't have turned my TV off quick enough. Jesus Christ.
I did one of those aggressive switch offs, like a high one. That's what my wife does. If I come home early and I come into the living room, she's watching something, she aggressively pauses with a high pause. What are you doing home? I'm watching some shit. Yes.
Look at this. We got a lot of love for Fulci. My favorite Fulci movie. I'm just gonna say, because we're talking about it. Has anyone seen Don't Torture a Duckling? I think that's Fulci's best. Either that or New York Ripper. 2 bangers. But I recently got Don't Torture a Duckling on 4K. Oh, the colours in that movie. There's a lot of Italian landscape in it. Mountains and hills, quirky houses. One of the nicest transfers I've ever seen. What a film as well. Jordan says turkeys are just drug addicted chickens and the government is doing doing nothing. Sorry, I've missed a few comments here. Who says Kevin Wigglebottom definitely got picked on in school? Think that film, The Score with Robert De Niro and Edward Norton, was Brando's last film. Yes. I remember that one.
Oh, I saw The Score. Was he
A
in
very
that?
underrated film.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Did he fill up the safe with water and blows it up?
Yeah. That, I think he's like the handler.
Is it? I don't remember him in it. Oh.
Yeah. He's got terrible hair in it. You're right. Yes, I forgot about that. That's a good film.
Do you know that we don't about names?
Ed Norton pretends to be disabled, and I watched it for the first time like 3 years ago.
I
was like, oh god, that's controversial now.
Are you saying
like,
about
very, very disabled?
You're saying about like directors. Same with bands. Like if a band has been around a long time, you almost don't hear if they got a shit name. Like Coldplay is so established that you forget like Coldplay is the worst name ever. And it's the same with like Dario. I bet Dario Argento in his own country is just like Dario. That's a crap name.
It's not a crap name. I'm telling you, if I have another kid and it's a boy, he will be named Dario.
Dario G.
Dario G.
You know who Dario G is?
No.
He was a famous dance band from Llanelli. They had a massive hit in the 90s, Dario G.
Oh, never heard of
People in the chat from Britain, Dario G. You'll know the song, and he's from Llanelli. Mental.
What? How did I know about that?
You will know the song 100%.
Sam says, I love that you both watched it. Sorry, guys. Too effortlessly fair play. I boxed off the ending today. To be honest, pal, this is the longest we've spoken about any of the picks. Now, I have said that it's the worst of the three, which it is. But this was easily the most... I found it the easiest to talk about this movie.
Yeah, and...
There's plenty to talk about.
Yeah, and also, Sam, thanks to you, this is going to be the last, okay? You got the last one in. No, we're going to do one monthly, pal.
Curtis, New York Ripper, that the killer, that sounds like a duck. If so, come off, and it pisses me off. He does. It is the one that sounds like a killer, but that's why you should love it, pal.
Yeah.
That's why you should love it. Great film.
Yes. Right then, Curtis, I think we talked as much as we possibly can about this piece of shit. My star rating is 1 turkey. That's it.
Yeah, one turkey for me.
I'll give it, and if I could give half, I'll give it 1, not a half, because I did laugh when that guy was coughing and he was smoking, the narrator, the judgmental narrator, puffing away.
One experimental turkey leg for me.
Yeah. Right, guys. Those of you who are members, I know it seems bad, but if you're a member, join us in 5 minutes over on our members stream. We're talking about The Surfer. We're not going to talk about The Surfer on our main channel because it's not full on horror. We can kind of get away with bending the rules a little bit with our members. It's a thriller, so it's not. We're not reviewing Legally Blonde, obviously. But it's dark enough to chuck it on. But we didn't want to flood our normal channel with things like The Surfer because the algorithm is just like, what the fuck are you trying to promote? You know?
Yeah, of course.
But all our Twisted Nights, we'll see you in 5 minutes. The rest of you, I really appreciate you jumping on tonight. We've had a blast. Yeah?
Yes, thank you all, guys, and thank you, Jamie. Look at that. Your posters are amazing. I'm loving your backgrounds. Thank you. We've got some iconic films back here. I don't know.
Are you talking about me, obviously, or his?
Nosferatu.
Yeah. I had the sense to not have like glass ones reflecting.
I've got some absolute classics up there, Jenks. Come on.
But they're glass, Kurt. You shouldn't be having glass. It's very unprofessional. You should be having canvases.
I paid too much for them to go back on them now.
Yeah, I know. I paid a lot of money for that Evil Dead one. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Mental. Yeah, expensive.
But yes, thank you to everyone that jumped on today, guys. I can't believe how many people jumped on to watch us talk about this bag of shit. But yes, for members, guys, we'll see you in 5 minutes now.
Yeah, and on the rest of you, Sunday we're ranking Freddie's makeup.
Yes.
It's better than it sounds.
Yeah, I promise.
Yeah.
I really liked his eyeliner in part 3.
Freddy Krueger, I should have mentioned, not just Freddy down the road. Anyway, have a lovely night, and we'll see some of you, but we'll see some of you on Sunday. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.